I have been asked if I can demonstrate some simple shading. So I'm going to do that today to show you how I shaded this one and why I shaded it the way I did. This is a very quick and simple demonstration. You can of course take a lot more time than I'm about to take here. So I started with 3 shades of blue. So to keep it very simple, if you just choose 3 shades of the same colour. So I've chosen a light blue, a little bit darker, and then a lot darker. So just to make this demonstration a little bit quicker, I've already coloured this flower in a light blue, which is this colour. Then I take the slightly darker colour, and if you can see here, there's a fold here, so you can see that in this flower here. So if you imagine this flower being more of a 3D rather than the flat picture, you can imagine that the flower goes inwards there, so you would have a lot more shadow and darkness in here. So I'm just going to start by demonstrating that just with very lightly with the darker pencil, imagining that the sunlight is on the outside of the petals and then the inside is a bit darker, and then it will get even darker as we go further into the center of the flower. So I'm just going to do this very quickly. Of course you can take your time to do this. I'm just going to show you very quickly here, roughly. So there we have a little bit of a darker colour, so more shade in there and more light out here. So as you got to the outside it would be lighter, as you got closer to the centre it would be darker. And I don't colour this bit because this is like a fold, see here? So that all of that petal there would be in the sunlight, as would this one. You can of course play with that with the edges here, putting a bit of shadow in, but for now we're just going to look at really basic, simple shading. Okay, so just adding a little bit of colour here, very roughly, very quickly. And then I take the darker colour, this one, and we're going to work from the centre outwards. From the centre because that's where the darkest shadow would be. And just to start with, just a little bit in the middle here, and then we'll spread out a bit further. So there we go, just a little bit in here. So then we've got the very centre, which is darker. And then you can imagine some of these bits where the folds are just being a little bit darker and the rest being a little bit lighter. So to help you with this, you can have a look at real flowers or pictures of flowers, photos or books, and get an idea of where the light falls and where the shadow is on flowers. Or you can just get a piece of paper and sketch some flowers and play a little bit. Don't be afraid to try the shading, and just do it a little bit at a time. Gently, gently put on layer upon layer. So if I were to continue this picture, I would probably continue, I'd do this lighter bit again, and then a little bit of that, the middle blue again, and then some of the darker again, until I really got that in-depth feeling where it felt like the flower was pointing inwards, where there was dark in the middle and light on the outside. And I would probably put some shading here as well, some light shading. But that's something you can experiment with as you go along. So I will show you this card when I finished it as well, show you what the result is like. But there you go, really simple shading, just using 3 pencils, the same colour, just going from light until darker. You don't need to make it more difficult than that in the beginning. Try that, play with it, and have fun. Enjoy.